Let me take you back to a quiet afternoon in a small coffee shop. There's a man sitting by the window, sipping his coffee, staring out at the world. He's lost in thought, a notebook open in front of him, scribbling down a dream he's held close for years. But then a friend joins him, glances at the notebook and says, "You do that? Good luck with that." The man chuckles nervously, closes the notebook, and the dream stays locked away untouched for years. How often have we been that man? How often have we shared something precious only to feel the sting of judgment, doubt, or indifference? As the poet Rumi once said, "Don't open your mouth if you're not sure your words will enhance the silence." In 2025, a year when the world is louder, faster, and more connected than ever, there's wisdom in that. What we choose to keep private might just define our peace, our power, and our purpose. Now, I'm not just talking about secrets or skeletons in the closet. No, no, no. I'm talking about your essence, your dreams, the whispers of your soul. Because not everything needs an audience, not every thought needs a stage, and not every part of you belongs to the world. Today, I'm going to talk about the 6 things we need to keep private in 2025. Not because we're hiding, but because we're protecting our peace, guarding our growth, safeguarding the treasures of our lives. Number 1, your next big move. Think about it. How many times have you excitedly announced your plans, only to see them crumble before your eyes? You told everyone you were starting a business, and suddenly, doubts crept in, competitors emerged, and the whole thing fell apart. Or you declared you were going back to school, and the pressure of public expectation became too much to bear. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're standing at the base of a mountain. You've got your gear, your plan, your determination. But then you start telling everyone you're going to climb it. And what happens? People begin shouting from the sidelines, "That's too steep. You don't have the right shoes. Didn't so-and-so try that and fail?" Their voices echo in your mind, and before you've even taken the first step, you're questioning yourself. That's the power of premature exposure. See, when you broadcast your plans prematurely, you invite the opinions, the doubts, the fears of others into your sacred space. You dilute your own focus, your own drive. You give your adversaries a head start. And let's be real, not everyone clapping for you is rooting for you. Some are just waiting for the curtain to fall. Keep your next big move to yourself. Nurture it in silence. Let it grow strong in the darkness, like a seed beneath the soil. Because, my friends, it's in that darkness where the magic happens. The roots dig deep, the foundation solidifies, and when it finally breaks through the surface, it's unstoppable. Let me remind you of something. The greatest chess players don't announce their strategies. They don't lean over the board and say, "Hey, I'm about to move my queen." No, they plan, they anticipate, and when they make their move, it's checkmate before their opponent even knows what hit them. That's how you need to approach your dreams. The element of surprise is a powerful weapon. Use it wisely. Now, this isn't about being secretive for the sake of it. It's not about mistrust or paranoia. It's about protecting the fragile seedling of your ambition. It's about giving yourself the space to grow without the constant scrutiny of the outside world. It's about respecting the power of incubation. You wouldn't take a cake out of the oven halfway through baking just to show it off, would you? No. You let it rise, you let it cook, and when it's ready, you present it with pride. Think about the greats, the inventors, the artists, the pioneers. Do you think they ran around announcing their every move? No! They worked in the shadows. They toiled in obscurity, and when they finally emerged, the world wasn't just impressed, it was astonished. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. She wrote the first Harry Potter book as a single mother, scribbling notes in cafes, not shouting from the rooftops about her plans. When her work was ready, she let it speak for itself. And speak it did, to millions. That's the power of keeping your next big move under wraps. And this book reflects that. But here's the thing, silence isn't easy. We live in a world that thrives on oversharing. Social media tempts us to post every step of the journey, every small victory. Resist that urge. Your journey doesn't need validation from the crowd. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Let your work do the talking when the time is right. And let's not forget the thrill of the reveal. Oh, there's nothing like it. When you've been working quietly, diligently, and then you step onto the stage and say, here it is. When the world sees the finished product and realizes they never saw it coming. That's power. That's impact. That's legacy. So my friends, as you stand at the base of your own mountain, hold your plans close. Shield them from the winds of doubt, the rain of criticism, the glare of premature exposure. Build in silence, work in the dark, and when it's time, let your success shine like the dawn. Bright, undeniable, and utterly breathtaking. Remember, the greatest creations are often born in silence. Protect your next big move, and when the world finally sees it, let them be amazed. I have another question for you from Twitter. This is Professor PGEG from Texas. Number 2, your goals and dreams. Listen, your vision is yours for a reason. It wasn't given to your neighbor, your coworker, or even your best friend. It was placed in your heart, tailor-made for you. And while it's tempting to shout from the rooftops, I'm starting this business, or I'm going back to school, or I'm finally going to write that book, let me tell you something. Premature exposure can kill a dream. You see, not everyone will clap for you. Some will criticize. Some will doubt. And some, consciously or unconsciously, will project their own fears onto you. It's like inviting someone to a feast when the meal is only halfway cooked. They might sniff the air, wrinkle their nose, and say, "Is that all you've got?" They don't see the masterpiece in progress. They don't see the hours, the effort, the heart you're pouring into it. They only see the unfinished product. And their opinions can shake your confidence. So, instead of announcing your plans to the world, nurture them in the quiet. Work in silence. Let the results speak for themselves. Your dreams are like seeds. They need soil, water, and sunlight, not the harsh winds of public opinion. Remember what Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." But believing isn't enough. You've got to protect those dreams like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. Let me tell you a little story. There was a farmer who planted bamboo. For years, nothing happened. Year 1, no shoots. Year 2, no sign of growth. Year 3, still nothing. Folks laughed at him, called him foolish. But he kept watering that patch of dirt, kept nurturing it in the quiet. And in the 5th year, that bamboo shot up over 80 feet in just 6 weeks. And in the 5th year, that bamboo shot up over 80 feet in just 6 weeks. You see, all that time, the roots were growing deep, building a foundation strong enough to support the towering height it would one day achieve. That's your dream. It's working beneath the surface, growing roots, building strength. But if you're out there digging it up every 5 minutes to show it off, it'll never have the chance to flourish. So keep it in the soil, let it grow in the dark, and when it's ready, it'll rise so high that no one can ignore it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't share your vision with anyone, but be selective. Share it with people who genuinely support you, people who will water that seed instead of trampling on it. As Les Brown says, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. But while you're aiming, keep your eyes on the target and your plans close to your chest. You ever notice how the best players in any game don't reveal their strategies before the match? They don't walk into the locker room and say, hey, here's how I'm going to win today. No, they step onto the field, execute their plan, and let the scoreboard do the talking. That's the mindset you need. Be the player who moves in silence, but wins loudly. And let's talk about energy for a second. Dreams require energy. And every time you share your vision prematurely, you're giving a piece of that energy away. You're spreading it thin, leaving less for the actual work. It's like trying to light a fire with a match that's already burned halfway down. Save your energy, focus it, channel it into the work, not the chatter. Your goals and dreams are sacred. They're the blueprint for the life you're building. Treat them with the reverence they deserve. Protect them, nurture them, and when the time is right, let them shine. Not because you announced them to the world, but because the world couldn't help but notice. So my friends, hold your dreams close. Work on them in the quiet. Let them grow strong in the darkness. And when they finally see the light, let them take the world by storm. That's how you turn a vision into a legacy. Number 3, your financial details. Let me tell you a story about a man named Marcus. Marcus had just landed a big promotion. Corner office, 6-figure salary, the works. He was feeling good, and in his excitement, he couldn't resist sharing the news with everyone he knew. Social media posts, dinner conversations, casual chats at the gym. Marcus's success was the talk of the town. But something strange started to happen. People he hadn't heard from in years suddenly wanted to catch up. Others offered foolproof investment opportunities or subtly hinted at their own financial struggles, hoping for a handout. And some, well, let's just say they weren't exactly cheering him on. You see, money talks, but sometimes it talks too much. Whether you're on the rise or navigating a tough patch, your financial situation is sacred. When you share too much, you're inviting the world to have an opinion about what isn't their business. And trust me, not all those opinions come from a place of goodwill. As Jay-Z once said, a wise man told me don't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who is who. And that's especially true when it comes to money. Let's break it down. If you're doing well financially, congratulations. But flashing your success around is like leaving the front door wide open with a sign that says, come on in. It invites envy, unsolicited advice, and yes, even manipulation. Suddenly, people start questioning your choices. Why'd you buy that car? Why are you living there? They may even expect you to bankroll their dreams or guilt you into loans you'll never see repaid. Protect yourself by keeping your wealth quiet. Now, what if you're on the other side of the coin? What if you're not where you want to be? Oversharing about financial struggles can leave you vulnerable. It opens the door to judgment or worse, pity. Let's be honest, you don't need someone to remind you of your challenges. You're already working hard to overcome them. Sharing your financial burdens widely doesn't lighten the load. It often makes it heavier. Here's the key. Handle your finances with discretion. Treat your financial life like a chess game. Don't show your hand to everyone. Make calculated moves, plan your strategy, and always stay 2 steps ahead. Invest wisely, save diligently, spend thoughtfully, and if you're building wealth, let your success do the talking. Real success doesn't need a microphone. It's a quiet force. It's the difference between a roaring lion and a steady wind. Both are powerful, but one moves without attracting unnecessary attention. And this is the basis of leadership. And let me tell you something else. Financial discipline isn't just about what you spend, it's about what you protect. Keep your goals close to your chest. Whether you're saving for your first home, investing in the stock market, or planning for early retirement, your plans are yours. Share them only with those who have earned your trust. As Warren Buffett said, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. That's wisdom you can take to the bank. So what's the takeaway? Wealth is quiet. Whether you're climbing the ladder or building a strong foundation, stay humble, stay hungry. Keep your financial moves private, because at the end of the day, your money's voice should only be heard by those who matter most. You, your trusted circle, and your future self. Keep building, keep striving, and keep your business yours. Number 4, your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Let me start with this. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength. It's how we build bridges instead of walls, how we grow deeper connections instead of shallow relationships. As Brené Brown said, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. But, and this is a big but, not everyone deserves access to your tender spots. Not everyone will handle your vulnerability with the care it deserves. Picture this. You're standing in front of a roaring fire on a cold night, holding a delicate glass vase. That vase is your heart, your soul, your struggles, your dreams. Now, would you hand that vase to just anyone? Someone who might drop it, mishandle it, or worse, throw it into the fire? Of course not. You'd only entrust it to someone who knows its value, who will hold it with steady hands and guard it like it's their own. That's how you need to treat your vulnerabilities. Life will test you, no doubt about it. There will be days when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear alone, and you'll want to share your struggles, your fears, your doubts. That's human nature. But here's the truth. You need to be discerning about who you open up to. Not everyone is equipped to hold space for your pain. Some people might genuinely care, while others, well, they might weaponize your words, twist your truth, or use your vulnerability to their advantage. And trust is earned, not given freely like candy on Halloween. Let's break this down. Sharing your struggles with the wrong person is like handing a blueprint of your house to a thief. They'll know exactly where your weaknesses lie, exactly how to get under your skin. But when you share with the right person, someone who's earned the privilege of your trust, it's like giving a compass to a trusted guide who helps you find your way back to strength and clarity. And let's not forget, protecting your vulnerabilities doesn't mean building walls so high no one can climb them. No, it means building gates and letting the right people in. People who've shown they can handle the weight of your truth. People who've proven through actions and not just words that they are worthy of your trust. Here's the thing, vulnerability, when shared with the right people, can be transformative. It can deepen relationships, foster understanding, and even heal wounds you thought would never mend. But when shared with the wrong people, it can leave you feeling exposed, betrayed, and regretful. So how do you know who's worthy? Pay attention to their consistency. Do their actions match their words? Are they genuinely present when you need them, or do they disappear when the going gets tough? If there's a decision that needs to be made and you don't know if they're in a community of your friends, are they genuinely present when you need them, or do they disappear when the going gets tough? Remember this, you are not obligated to share your story with anyone who hasn't earned a front row seat in your life. It's okay to say, I'm not ready to talk about that right now, or I'm keeping this to myself for now. As Oprah Winfrey wisely said, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. Set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they're fences with gates. They protect your peace while allowing the right energy to flow in and out. And one more thing, be careful with the vulnerability trend. These days, it's easy to mistake oversharing for being authentic. Social media will have you thinking that baring your soul to an audience of strangers is the ultimate form of connection. But real connection doesn't happen in the comments section. It happens in the quiet spaces, in the one-on-one conversations, in the moments where trust is built brick by brick. So protect your heart, guard your soul, share your struggles and your fears with those who've proven they're worthy, and keep your innermost doubts safe from those who might exploit them. Vulnerability is your superpower, but like any power, it must be used wisely. Choose wisely. Choose those who choose you, and watch how your life transforms. Number 5, your family issues. Picture this, a family barbecue, the aroma of grilled burgers, the sound of laughter, kids running around, and then that one heated argument erupts. Maybe it's about money or someone's tone of voice, or even something as silly as who brought the potato salad. Tempers flare, words are exchanged, and someone storms off. Now imagine if that scene was live streamed for the whole world to see. Sounds ridiculous, right? But in 2025, with social media at our fingertips, it's easier than ever to turn private family moments into public drama. Let's get one thing straight. Every family has its ups and downs. Arguments, misunderstandings, and moments of tension aren't just normal, they're inevitable. But here's the thing, airing your family's dirty laundry to the world doesn't solve a thing. In fact, it often makes things worse, because the world doesn't care about resolution. It cares about entertainment, and your family struggles should never be reduced to a reality show for others to gossip about. Family is your tribe. They're your first line of defense, your safe harbor in the storm. Protect them, even when things aren't perfect, especially when things aren't perfect. Disagreements are a part of the human experience, but how you handle them defines your family's strength. As Maya Angelou once said, I sustain myself with the love of family. That love isn't always smooth, but it's always worth protecting. Now let me break it down for you. First, understand this, no family is perfect. That picture perfect family you see on Instagram, they've got issues too. They just don't post them. Comparing your family's reality to someone else's highlight reel is a recipe for frustration. Don't fall into the trap of thinking your family struggles are unique or insurmountable. They're not. But how you handle those struggles, that's where the magic happens. When conflicts arise, and they will, handle them with love, patience, and respect. It's not about winning arguments, it's about strengthening bonds. You see, loyalty starts at home. And loyalty doesn't mean agreeing all the time. It means standing by each other, even when it's hard. Work through conflicts privately, not publicly. Pull each other aside, have those tough conversations, and listen, really listen to each other. Sometimes the best way to resolve an argument is to stop talking and start hearing. Now let's talk about keeping things private. In this age of oversharing, privacy is a gift. Not every disagreement needs a post, and not every frustration needs a tweet. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone vent about a family member online only to regret it later? Words are powerful, and once they're out there, you can't take them back. Protect your family's dignity by keeping those struggles within the circle. It's not about hiding, it's about honoring your relationships. And let's not forget the ripple effect. When you keep family matters private, you're setting an example for the next generation. You're teaching your kids, your nieces and nephews, your younger siblings, that family is a sacred bond worth preserving. They're watching how you handle conflict, how you speak about loved ones, and how you prioritize loyalty. Be the role model they deserve. Here's the bottom line. Family is messy, but it's also beautiful. It's where we learn to love, to forgive, to grow. Protect those bonds fiercely. Keep your family struggles off the stage and in the safe, sacred spaces where healing can happen. Because at the end of the day, when the world turns its back, family is who will stand with you. Strengthen those bonds. Honor that loyalty. And remember, the strongest families aren't the ones who never fight. They're the ones who fight for each other. Number 6, your acts of kindness and not praising, your praise, and the effect that has on those who are in your. Now that's kindness, true kindness, the kind that doesn't need a spotlight. You see, we live in a world where people document everything, from their meals to their morning routines, and yes, even their generosity. But let me tell you something. Real kindness isn't about the clicks, the likes, or the standing ovations. It's about the difference you make, whether anyone knows about it or not. As the great Booker T. Washington once said, if you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. That's the essence of kindness. When you help someone, when you give, when you uplift, do it quietly, humbly. The reward isn't in the recognition. It's in the ripple effect of your actions. Think about it. When you do something kind and keep it to yourself, it becomes something sacred. It's pure, untainted by ego or the need for applause. And here's the best part. The universe sees even when the world doesn't. You might think no one notices, but the impact of a single act of kindness can echo in ways you'll never fully understand. Let's be real for a moment. We've all seen it. Someone filming themselves, handing out food to the homeless or donating money to charity. And while the intention might be good, it's hard not to wonder, is this about them or the people they're helping? When kindness becomes a performance, it loses its magic. It shifts the focus from the act to the actor. Don't let that be you. Don't let your generosity be diluted by the need for validation. Instead, aim for what I like to call quiet impact. Quiet impact is when you do good because it's the right thing to do, not because anyone's watching. It's slipping a $20 bill into a struggling single mom's purse without her noticing. It's paying for the coffee of the person behind you in line just to make their day a little brighter. It's listening to a friend in need, offering your time and empathy without expecting anything in return. These are the moments that define true kindness. They're not loud, but they're powerful. And let's not forget this. Acts of kindness aren't just about grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest acts carry the most weight. A genuine smile, a helping hand, a kind word. These things cost nothing, but can mean everything. Don't underestimate the power of simplicity. As the Dalai Lama once said, be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Let that guide you. Here's the thing, when you keep your kindness private, you're not just protecting its purity, you're also protecting yourself. You're guarding your intentions against pride and keeping your focus where it belongs, on the impact, not the recognition. And in a world that often feels noisy and self-absorbed, quiet kindness is a radical act of love. It's a reminder that we're all connected, that every small act of goodness contributes to a greater whole. So, my friends, let your kindness be like the wind, felt but unseen. Let it move people without needing to announce itself. Because at the end of the day, the true measure of kindness isn't in who knows about it, it's in the lives it touches and the hearts it heals. Do good, be kind, and let the universe take care of the rest. In closing, let me leave you with this. Privacy is power. In 2025, the world will keep pulling at you, demanding more, asking for access to every part of your life. But you don't owe the world everything. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself protection. You owe yourself the freedom to grow, to heal, to dream without the weight of outside judgment. So guard your goals. Protect your personal life. Be discreet with your finances. Keep family matters within the family. Move in silence. Let your kindness speak for itself. Protect your heart. Shield your love life. And nurture your faith. Because when you keep what's sacred private, you hold on to your power. And when you hold on to your power, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Thank you.